Good evening and welcome to the Erfinder Chef. We're here for episode number 3. It's very exciting. I've got a really good recipe for you tonight, and I just want to say that I've really enjoyed doing this little project for you guys, not only because it allows me to demonstrate my skill and technique and share with you recipes for home cooked meals in your own homes, but it allows me to practice my own technique. Which has been a while since I've been in commercial kitchens myself. I do prefer to cook at home these days more than working in the industry, and it just allows me to keep that passion going in the comfort of my own home. So let's we're going to talk a bit about tonight's recipe because it's a little bit exciting. I have picked up this absolutely delicious and divine looking slab of eye fillet. Now, traditionally, eye fillet is more of a flattish diamond sort of shape, and what I've done is actually I've pre-rolled this using baking paper and cling wrap so that we get a really nice rounded medallion when we cut this for our pan. We've got a pairing with some absolute beautiful different varieties of bits and pieces to form this dish tonight. We're being a little bit classic, we're bringing in classic flavors. It's just going to be delicious. So we have an eye fillet steak. We'll be pairing it with a sweet potato puree, which we're going to do in the food processor. We are also pairing it with some Dutch carrots that we're going to blanch along with some broccolini. And we're going to have a topping of some beautiful parsnip chips, which we're going to do in the air fryer. One of my favorite appliances to use in the kitchen, the air fryer. Definitely because it's less oil. And the product just comes out crispier, even if it's just for chips, like, you know, your standard potato chips. Air fryers, way to go. And lastly, we're going to be topping it with a beautiful red wine and blackcurrant jus, which we're going to make from scratch. So I'm really excited to show you how to make that, because that's the one thing I've been looking forward to in this entire dish. So let's get started, guys. Let's get ready to have a fantastic cook. Again, thank you to all the subscribers and the likes that I've had on my page so far. We're up to 180 likes on the Facebook page, which is pretty cool. And we're going up and up more each day. And it's more that I love being able to share things with you guys, getting myself out there and teaching you cool little nicks and tricks that you can do at home. So please share with your friends and your family, anybody who wants to be interested in learning how to cook. But enough of me talking again, let's get started on our meal. So the first thing that we're going to do tonight is get some pots ready with some water. So I've already got a large pot over here with some water, which we're going to do our sweet potato in. Just quickly though, I'm also very excited to share this with you. I have obtained my beautiful new set of cookware. So we here have the Blackcurrant ID3 cookware set. It's absolutely beautiful. Got a 6-piece set, so we've got some really nice deep pans to use and a really nice griddle. But the one thing I do like about these are they are super heavy, which normally means you can tell that they're really good quality pans. So I'm very excited. So this pan here we're going to use for the blanching of our Dutch carrots and our broccolini. So I'm going to fill it up quite full and I'm going to put it on high heat so we can get it to boil. Alright. Now a lot of people, when they think of the technique of blanching, you can actually get specialized blanch baskets. In the case of our home kitchen environment, I'm actually going to use a metal sieve. Now the metal sieve is essentially just going to sit over the top of the water. I might need to put a little bit more in there. We will do that. We'll fill up a little bit more water in that. Let's pour my jug. But essentially it allows you to sit your vegetables in the sieve basket and let them steam without you having to try and scoop them out. You can remove them quite easily. There we go, filling that up nice. So we have a good depth of water in the top there, and we're just going to let that heat up. Now again, I remember in the last episode this didn't heat up very quickly, but we'll see how it goes. We might be able to move it onto the other one. Alright, let's get started with our sweet potato first. So I picked up this beautiful, massive sweet potato. We're not going to use all of it. Now, before we get started, I know my normal pitch is good local Brisbane beers, but it is quite cold tonight, and I thought this meal is going to be perfect to warm me up after this episode, because as much as I would love to share it with you guys, I do eat my own food after the episodes, and I've got to get some pretty pictures and stuff first, but I've got to eat my food because otherwise I would be wasting it, and I cannot waste good quality home cooked meals. So this evening I'm actually going to have a glass of red wine, which we're going to use the same red wine in the sauce that we're going to make later. So here I have a Barossa Shiraz by Two Towns. It's a 2019 bottle. I'm just going to pour myself a lovely glass of red wine. I'm going to get started on this beautiful sweet potato. Absolutely delicious. Beautiful. Alright, we'll leave that out actually. We'll need that for our sauce. Alright, so we're going to get started on this sweet potato. So I'm just going to grab my knife. Or let's go the bigger knife. I'm going to grab our bigger knife. And we're just going to take quite a large chunk out of this. I'm gonna be a weird chef, and I'm gonna go from the middle because I want to be able to trim down the sides. So I'll put this to the side. I will definitely reuse that because there is still plenty of sweet potato there. And we're just gonna ever so slightly trim down the sides. So ever so quickly with our sharp knife. Obviously watch your fingers as you cut along. Getting all of that skin off. Now I'm so glad that my pots arrived. They actually only got delivered at 9 o'clock this morning, so I was so happy that they came. I ordered them online because I wanted to get lots of freebies. I'm all about the freebies. Alright, so we're going to cut this into about a third. Then we'll go a third again. Keep in mind when you're using sharp knives, obviously watch your fingers. I'm just going to rough chop this into, say, about 1.5 centimeter cubes. Bring my pot over here, which again I've got some water in here already. Alright, so that in there, beautiful. Now this is for our sweet potato puree that we'll be doing in the food processor. So I've actually got my food processor out tonight. I'm not going to use the Thermomix. I want to show that you can do this in any application. You don't need to have a fancy blender, as some people call them, as my father referred it to not that long ago, a fancy blender. Alright, so we've got that in there. As last time, we've got our seasoning salt. I love having this in my kitchen, so we're just going to put a big splash of the seasoning salt inside of there. We're just going to go and put this on the back burner on high. Alright, so we've got that ready. We've got our water on for our broccolini and our Dutch carrots, so we'll prep them up ready to go, but we're not going to put them in until towards the end. And I picked up these beautiful Dutch carrots today from Woolworths. Really like that sort of rustic, homegrown sort of style that the Dutch carrots have. And I'm just grabbing some broccolini here from my vegetable drawer. I love broccolini. I like the sophistication of broccolini. It's really nice to serve on a dish. So we're just going to grab, say, three of these Dutch carrots. give them a good rinse. You can see they've got quite long stems on them. Okay, we'll put them back. And what I want to do is I'm just going to trim ever so, maybe a centimetre above the stems here. So we can see we've still got a little bit on the top there, right? A little bit of the green on the top there. You can hear the sweet potato getting hot. That is one thing I'm blessed with in this kitchen, is the heat on this stovetop over here. Magnificent. Just so quickly, heats up very quickly. Let's just check how this pad's going. Note to self, it's hot. Again, raw and unedited, so that one's going to be one you can laugh about later. The chef that burnt his fingers. Alright, I'm just going to quickly rinse these Dutch carrots. Alright, we're just going to trim the roots off the end. Not too far, because they're very, very rustic. They look very delicious on the dish. So we're just going to ever so, just where they start going white a little bit. Just going to trim that down. So there we go. We've got these beautiful Dutch carrots, nice and trimmed, nice and prepped, ready to go. And another thing is the broccolini. So I just want to peel some of the sort of more leakier style, take the leaves off. We want to make it look presentable. We don't want any broken bits on our broccolini. So I'm just going to peel a little bit of this leafy stuff off. But the whole lot of the broccolini is absolutely usable. You don't just have to cut the bottoms off and throw it away. So again, I am going to cut these in half because I do like the leafy bits at the top. But I'll probably keep these to the side and chew on them later because delicious. So let's just get a little dish to put these in. I'm going to be putting them straight on the bench, even though my bench is clean. So I'm just going to pop them in there, ready for our blanching later when that's ready. So, put that to the side. Put our leftover sweet potato back in the fridge. Alright, so what we'll do actually is I've got some beautiful mini parsnips here, and as I said before, what we're going to do is make some parsnip chips in the air fryer. So what I love about the air fryer, as I kind of dabbled on before, is, sorry, I'm a messy chef, there was some Dutch carrot greens on the floor. As I was saying, sorry, what I love about the air fryer is the ability to be able to get vegetables and chips and just anything you put in it nice and crispy, but the oil drains to the bottom. And it's really good. It's quick and easy. The air fryer that I have, I bought from Kmart for $50, I think it was. It's just a 1.5 litre, so it's not as big, but they do have a 5 litre option, I think it is, for bigger families. But what I really like about it is that it's small, compact, it just fits on the bench. I put it in the cupboard when it's cooled down and I'm done with it. And it's just quick and easy to be able to pull it out, whip it out, just put it in, let it cook, and it's got a timer setting and it's got preset menu options, and it's just really simple, easy to use application. So we're going to make some parsnip snips with it today. So what we're going to do, cut the top off, cut the bottom off, and we're just going to ever so lightly peel it. Now I have a wide peeler here, which is really good. Sorry, I have a wide peeler somewhere. Here it is, my drawer of many cutlery items. Alright, and we're just going to slice quite large pieces, right? So that's the first one. It's not as thick, well, not as thick, it's not as wide as we want it. So you want to keep going through the parsnip. Alright, remember at some point you do hit the core. Alright, so keep that in mind. Again, these are mini, so if you do get a bigger parsnip, it can be better to make parsnip chips. And let's go one more. Beautiful. Now we've got these really nice strands, and literally all we're going to do is sea salt them a little bit, and we're just going to put them in the air fryer. Now they'll take about 20 minutes, roughly. Again, make as many as you need for your family. It's just a nice topping that's going to go on top of our steak. When we serve up this dish, it's essentially going to look a bit like a surf and turf, minus the creamy sauce and minus the prawns because I'm highly allergic to seafood. But it's still going to have that real rustic sort of look to it with a nice dark red wine sauce. So I'm really excited. These sweet potato absolutely coming along nicely, and our blanched water will be getting nice and ready. So in the meantime, let's get these chips nice and seasoned. So we're just going to pop these flat on the board. If you do have skins, make sure they're skinned down. And we just want to go and get some sea salt from our sea salt box. And we're just going to ever so sprinkle some sea salt on them. Also helps to rub them in a little bit. Alright. Kind of like sandpaper a little bit. Rubbing the salt into the parsnip here. Alright, and now we've got that all done, we're going to sit these into our air fryer basket. So here's my air fry basket here. I'm just going to layer them ever so into the bottom. Yeah, they can overlap a little bit because we'll check on them halfway and chuck them through. Now, so what I've done there is I've put them on for 25 minutes on a lower heat. So we've done a 180 degrees in the air fryer at 25 minutes, and we'll just let them cook. We've got our beautiful sweet potato coming along. Now, I do have some sea salt on my bench from what we just did with the parsnips, but now it's time to prep the beautiful ribeye. So, as I'm presenting, ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful rolled ribeye, I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can have a look. As I said, I have rolled it out for us. Oh, look at that. Lots of fat in there. Bit exciting. Alright. So we're just going to unroll this. And as I said before, we want like a really nice medallion. Man, I rolled this and I can't even unroll it. Alright, so I just pop this to the side. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to bring this over again. Now that I've unwrapped it, it's probably better to see it the second time round. But look at that, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got this really nice rounded medallion style ribeye that I rolled. I'm just so excited to try this. Lots of fat again. Beautiful produce. So rolling that out on the bench. Just rinse my hands. I might just take a bit of water out of this pot because there's not as much. This is a larger pot. And I just want these to cook through quicker. So we will put that in there. Alright, first things first. Get ourselves a nice sharp knife. So, got my short knife here. And essentially what we're going to do is say really nice 2.5 centimeter medallions, alright? And I just want to ever so slice. I don't want to have to like tear through the meat, right? Keeping it nice and firm on the side that you're not cutting, so you get that absolutely delicious round medallion, nice and thick. Look at that. That is just delightful. Let's do a couple of these, right? You can always keep it for lunch the next day. So again, nice and firm. Once we cut through the membrane fat on the top, oh, nice and smooth. And we've got again Beautiful medallion. One more. We can show some different cooking times. We can look at like a medium and a medium rare, and also well done. Alright, so I've got some beautiful medallions cut here. Beautiful produce. I'm just going to rewrap the rest of that, wrap the rest of this eye fillet, and that will not be going to waste for sure. It's one of my downfalls in the kitchen is using cling wrap. I never ever was able to master the ability to actually no, that was pretty good. I'm impressed with myself. But you know, we all have our downfalls. Alright, so let's get ourselves just a nice little side plate where we can put these medallions on. Alright, and we are just going to season them with a bit of salt again. I said we had some salt on our bench. I'm just going to rinse my fingers because I was just handling meat. So we're just going to season them ever so nicely with salt. Beautiful. So on the weekend, I went with my daughter. We went to the Big Pineapple here in Queensland. It's been about, I would say, 15 years since I went to the Big Pineapple last. No, couldn't have been 12. Would have been about 17 years since I went to the Big Pineapple, and it was great because it was a bit of a adventure. From when I was 10, I went to the Big Pineapple, and I go there and look back at taking my daughter and then taking photos in the exact same places that I went as a childhood, in my childhood, and it was just really fun. Like, we've been to Australia Zoo together, and we sat in the same seats that I sat in when I went there when I was 10. And it was just a really cool bonding experience. I really enjoyed it. Got to get out and about now that we're allowed to leave the house. Being safe, of course. Wear your masks, cover your mouth. Alright, we've got our sweet potato coming along really nicely. We've got our steaks ready to go. Now, I've got my Blackcurrant ID3 beautiful fry pan here. I'm so excited. I'm going to put this on here. Again, as I said, we'll see how the temperature goes, because this little hot plate here, and I'm going to invest in some more hot plates, some better ones. Sometimes the heat doesn't distribute through the both of them. This water for our blanching is bubbling away, or lightly bubbling. And I might just put some sea salt in there as well. There is nothing wrong with seasoning ever. Don't ever be told, unless you have high sodium levels, that there's never enough seasoning. So always put seasoning in your food, otherwise you won't get the flavour that you're after. Now, we will get started on the steak soon, but in preparation I want to get ready for the blackcurrant and red wine jus, which I'm really excited about. So I bought these from Coles, but we have these Driscoll's, the only finest berries, blackcurrants, and I'm really excited to use them. Now this is going to be pairing with our Two Towns wine. I'm going to read you a bit of the spiel off the back of the bottle. So we have our South Australia is widely known as the heart and soul of the Australian wine industry. Now, I've been through the Barossa. I've travelled a bit through South Australia, and there was definitely some really cool looking wineries. I didn't really get much time to stop, but I would love to go back again another day and do some wine tasting. Being from Western Australia, one of the places that I got to spend at a Christmas one time was Margaret River, and I tried a lot of wine there. Absolutely beautiful wine producers down in Margaret River. But this one we have dark berry fruits, lifted raspberry over integrated toasty oak, balanced tannins created a lingering finish. So I think this is the perfect pairing to go with our black currants, with our blackcurrant and red wine jus. But it's obviously not just black currants and red wine in the sauce. So what we're going to do is I've got some of my beautiful pre-peeled garlic that I had from last episode. And what we're going to do is get this into, I'll get my pot ready, sorry. So I've got a pot here for the jus that we're going to use. It's not one of the Blackcurrants, it's one of my older ones, but it's a perfect size to make sauces. So we're just going to grate the garlic that we have here. Absolutely beautiful produce. Again, this garlic came from the farmer's market, and you can tell that even after a week, it's still super fresh. Super fresh. So I love buying from the farmer's market. It is also paid to important to have a really good fridge. Like I know that you can get fridges, but it's all about the freshness and the crispiness. I only bought this fridge not that long ago because my other one went through a meltdown and decided to freeze everything. So, which is a shame for buying fresh produce, because the next day I'd find it frozen in my freezer. So I knew it was time to upgrade. I bought this beautiful fridge, and I find that it has been keeping my vegetables so fresh and all of my produce so fresh. So it is important to have a good freezer. Alright, so I've got this nice garlic in here ready to go as well, and we're going to put some salt. Oh, that sweet potato is looking divine. Good pinch of salt in here. Some black peppercorns, of course. There's not a Jew in the world that should not have black peppercorns. Alright, so we've got this ready. I'm just going to pop our black currants in here, ready for when they are ready. I'm going to put them in whole, because we're going to reduce these down into a very pulpy jam sort of consistency. I want a lot of flavour, so I'm going to put almost all of them in there. And you know what? Sneaky taste. Just to stain my teeth for our episode. Alright, so we're going to put that to the side. Alright, let's turn our pan on for our steaks here. Very excited. Just going to do a prick test on these sweet potato here. I'm going to sharp knife. Ooh. They are very, very close. Alright, so again, we'll turn our pan up. We've got our water going for our blanching. Now this is my knife that I used for my steak. So I'm going to just rinse that off and put that to the side for cleaning afterwards. We will not use that one again. This time I won't touch the pan. And we're just going to put some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, into the pan. Alright. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Get back to this. This is delicious bottled wine. That's one thing with wine, is you get to the point where you have one glass and then you just want one more. And then one more, and a little bit more, but school tomorrow and work tomorrow, so must behave. Alright, so we'll just let this pan come to temperature. We've got our blanching ready here. I think I'm going to pop these in because even though it is only up to a light boil, we would have some time to be able to let them just sit and boil through ever so nicely. Fit. I might have to trim a little bit more off the top of that one. There we go. I'm going to pop that in there. Got a sneaky one in the side. Beautiful. I'm just going to let that sit in the basket and ever so slowly steam its way through. Because we still want a little bit of crunch, but we also want it nice and just still crunchy winter sort of vegetables. This pan's coming up nicely. I think we're having a winner with the hot plates tonight. They're being friendly to us. So, we've got our food processor over here too for our puree that we'll be making. I'm going to move this lid. Pop that on top of our sweet potatoes there. They will be very close. I might turn the temperature down a little bit on those. And let's get ready to cook our steaks. Now, normally, so about 8 years ago, I had gastric banding. Now, I lost a lot of weight, and then I gained a little bit of weight. So now I'm in the process. I've actually been going to the gym. I've lost 5 kilos so far. I'm pretty proud of myself for that. But with the help of some friends of mine, Tracy Lewis and Brett Lewis, they're helping me get into the routine of isogenics. So that is another thing that arrived in the post today, was my shakes and my cleansers. But the good thing with that is that it allows to fit into my life routine with Harlow and work and all that sort of stuff. So having a shake in the morning and following the process throughout the day and having a shake at lunchtime, and then still being able to cook a healthy, hearty meal for Harlow and I in the evening. So I'm really excited because I'm always on the go. I'm always to and from. I'm in the office every second week. I really love my job. It keeps me mentally strong. And then with the gym and everything as well. So I'm really excited about that. So that starts tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this and then go on a diet. So yeah, that's gonna be great. And I really appreciate the help and guidance they've given me so far. So this is really good. Alright, so that is coming along lovely. Our sweet potato that we've got going. Our pan seems to be coming along nicely. We've got our vegetables on the blanch. Oh, I'm very excited. Let's start off by doing our steaks. Now what I want to do here is a technique where I'm going to cook it around the sides of the steak. So I still want that really nice redness in the middle. So as I'm sliding my way around the bench here, I'm going to just prop this, and I'm just going to swizz this oil around a bit because I just want to get full coverage with the pan. Again, beautiful new pans. I'm just going to ever so place these on the side. Oop, fell over. Stay up. Doesn't want to. Let's try that side. There we go. Alright. Beautiful, we've got these steaks. Now we want to keep an eye on these steaks as we go along. What I am going to do in the meantime, put this plate over in the sink. I'm going to get my colander out and I'm going to drain our sweet potato for our puree. I will do a quick test again before. Just want to make sure that they are ready to go. I think they're pretty good, so we're going to drain these. Always use yourself a tea towel. Remember, the steam that comes out when you're draining vegetables can also be quite scalding. So you don't want to burn yourself off of the steam, so always pour away, keep your face to the side. Alright. And I'm going to put this pot up onto my bench up here with the lid on. As we will not be traditionally mashing or making a puree in a pot, we're going to be making it in a food processor. So I'm just going to let that cool down to the side here. Now, oh yes, I'm so excited. I'm just going to turn these over ever so. Oh, we got this nice brownness on them. Does not want to stay up for me, I'm going to rest it against the side. Oh, these steaks have a mind of their own. Try that slide. There we go. Alright. So, beautiful steamed. Beautiful steamed. Sweet potato. Sorry, had a mental blank there for a second. Must need some more wine. Alright. Now, we're going to put these into our food processor. So we've got our food processor to the side here. And I've just put a plastic blade in it. Alright, so just a plastic blade. We don't really need a metal blade in this one. And we're just going to pop our sweet potato in here. We're going to pop the lid on. Alright, and we're just going to take the cup out because we want the steam to be able to come out and rise. So, what have I done to my food processor? Silly me. Alright, so I've blitzed that to the consistency of baby food. Again, keeping an eye on our steaks. Trying to make these stand is impossible. The thickness. Alright, so with our puree, I want to get some butter. I've got some low-pack butter here and some cream. And we're going to put some salt into our puree. Just the tiniest bit, just pop it into the top there. Some of the black pepper, but like tiniest of it. We don't want to be seeing like too much in there, but it's good to taste. Alright, now we're going to cut ourselves some butter, say roughly 30 grams. And you can add more if you require. It really depends on how much sweet potatoes you cut for your family. But in this case of just me, this is going to be my dinner tonight and my lunch tomorrow. No, it's not, because I'm on isogenics. Routines, my friends, routines. Alright, so we're just going to pop some butter cubes into here. Now remember, this is hot already, so you don't want to have melted butter and more hot, that sort of stuff, because it won't come together as well. So we're going to put this back in the fridge. I'm going to use that piece of steak to hold up that piece of steak. I think that's going to be my presentation steak. Alright, so we've added our butter in there. Beautiful, you can see that it's coming along nice and creamy. It's starting to form a creamy puree sort of in texture. And last but not least, cream. So always put the cream last because it's a go by ear ingredient, as I like to call them. And we just want to pour a little bit to start with, right? Because you don't want it to be too runny. Alright, so I've put a little bit of cream in there. Add a little bit more. Take the lid off, and I'm going to get a spatula. I don't even own a spatula. I did, but I think it broke. A little plastic spoon will do just fine. I'm just going to pull away from the edges a bit, give it a slight mix so that we can combine the stuff on the edge a little bit better. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nobody saw it. I'm just going to add a little bit more cream to bring that together. Here we have a sweet potato puree that is just absolutely divine. Look at that, just sliding off the spoon. Toaster spoon. Alright, let's come back to our steaks here. We're going to turn this one over. This piece here is going to be my presentation piece. Alright, so I'll take this off the processor, bring it to the side. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these steaks, actually I'm going to take this blanching to the back. I'll put that back on medium, so we can keep an eye on our steaks at the front here, while we prep up our blackcurrant and red wine jus. So, put our cream back in the fridge. I'm just going to check on my parsnip chips. So as you can see, we've got this beautiful, crispy little topping for our parsnip, right? Beautiful, look at that. Done in the air fryer, nice and crispy. I'm very excited. We're just going to let that sit there ready for topping. So that actually took only about 15 minutes. So I guess in the case of me only serving for presentation, the more you have in the basket, the more longer it's going to take because it needs to be able to coat all of it or allow air to flow to all of it. Alright, so we've got our black currants, our garlic and salt and pepper that we prepared earlier. And move our food processor back into the corner here. Just going to give my board a bit of a wipe. Go. I'm going to be slicing these, I reckon. I reckon they'll look absolutely beautiful, nice and sliced. So we'll be slicing them ever so. Now, I can smell the blackcurrants and the garlic cooking. We're just going to get a normal spoon. We don't need a big spoon. Now I'm ever just going to put a little bit of a dash of our red wine just to get the sizzle process started. Going to do a fruit test of our blanched vegetables. Turn that up a little bit. Again, a little bit of a messy chef, a little bit of a tidy chef. Always keep your work space clean. Oh yes. So I'm going to take this down to a lower heat. I'm just going to start bringing together this raspberry, blackcurrant, sorry, and red wine jus. Now, the secret to the jus is we're going to just keep adding a little bit of wine at a time. We don't want it to be too reduced. We want the raspberries to also start coming apart. There I go again. Raspberries. It's because of the wine. There was raspberry notes in the wine. I keep thinking of the wine. It must mean I need more wine. Or not. This is why I have beer during our episodes, because I do love a glass of red wine, especially with a steak. So our black currants slowly coming apart. Oh man, these look delicious. Again, those nice medallion pieces. This is definitely my presentation piece. I'm going to drain a little bit of the oil and a little bit of the flavour into our jus as well, because you can use that meat flavour. Oop. Hold your meat then. So let's pour some of the juices from the steak into the jus. Give it that extra flavour. Beautiful. These black currants are just falling apart. I'm very excited. Splash more red wine. So we have low moisture in here, so it does allow the heat to rise quicker, allowing it to reduce quicker. So these blackcurrants are hitting quite high heats at the moment, and I'm glad that I swapped them over. And it's slowly, they're just absolutely cooking through. Absolutely divine. Up. We have a boil over. Now I want to get some brownness on this, on these steaks, and by the looks of it, our hot plate has lost its heat on this side a little bit. So I'm going to take this to the back, put that on that hot pan where we had the blanching happening a second ago, and we're just going to get that. Oh, listen to that already. See the difference? The heat difference between the two. That's going to give us a nice brownness is what we're looking for. And then this sauce can come together over here just nicely. These blackcurrants are just falling apart. Now you can see I'm whisking with a fork. This is an old pot. I would never do this in my new cookware because that is just blasphemy. In the new cookware, God no. So our tongs. Now we will be draining the jus. To get the fruitiness out of it. Well, not the fruitiness, the fruit. But it is just a beautiful thick sauce that we have here. And it's really simple. So just red wine, blackcurrants, garlic, and seasoning. Absolutely delicious. We'll put a little bit more red wine in there. I'm going to take our presentation piece off because I'm getting ready to slice that for our presentation. These other two medallions are also nicely done, and we're just going to take this off, put this to the side. Let's put it to the side up here, mainly because I want to prep here for our plating. Now I'm just going to add a bit of water to this jus because we want to reduce it down a little bit. Now, you know me, add some more red wine, but no, we'll put some water in it this time. A good whisk to break up that fruit as well. We want to get as much flavour out of that fruit as possible. Absolute beautiful produce. And we're going to get our serving plates. We've got a really pretty plate today. Really pretty plate for our serving. We'll put that to the side there. We've got our sweet potato puree. serving spoon, and we're just going to put a nice serving of this sweet potato. Oh, I dropped some on the side. How messy of me. A beautiful dollop of that sweet potato puree. Clean chucks cloth. As any chef, we're just going to tidy up the plate. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to take our beautiful steak piece that we had. Now I've taken out these parsnip chips as well, just set them on the side of this, ready to serve up. And we're just going to cut into this steak. Nice slices. Beautiful. We've got medium rare, absolutely medium rare. So we're just going to ever so slightly place this across the top of our sweet potato puree. Beautiful, look at that. Put our parsnip chips for afterwards. How's our sauce coming along here? Divine, that is ready to strain out. So we're just going to put that over the side. How's our blanched coming along? So we've got our beautiful Dutch carrots. Just going to put this on the board here. Put that in the sink. So we've got these beautiful Dutch carrots here that we're going to pop on the side. We've got a piece of broccolini. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. Just going to put these vegetables into a separate container so I can use my sieve to strain my sauce. Again, raw home cooking at its finest. And I'm just going to get a glass container so I can drain off the sauce that we have here. Oh, look at that beautiful fruit. And who says you can't use the fruit, to be honest? I probably will in a second now that it looks so divine. There is just so much flavour in that. Absolutely so much flavour. So it is a bit light, so we're just going to add a little bit of corn flour. I'm talking just a dash of corn flour, just to thicken it up. Now the secret to corn flour is essentially prepping it beforehand. So we don't want to just add powder straight to a sauce because it won't come together, it'll come together lumpy. So I've got a little container here and I'm just going to scoop out some of the water from the blanching because it's nice and hot. Alright, pour that into my container. Then I'm going to add such dash, like I'm talking like the smallest amount of corn flour. To the water first. Right, and we're going to make a thick paste with that. Why not use the same fork? Right, so with corn flour you don't want it to be lumpy. Right, but you also got to make sure that it's the right thickness, because if you just add it to your sauce and it's not the right thickness, then it's just going to make it more liquidy, isn't it? more reduced. Alright, so let's just add a dash of that. We have this beautiful sauce. We're just going to let sit for a minute. Alright, so we have this beautiful fruit, this absolutely beautiful fruit, and I'm just going to ever so slightly, let's get another little spoon, or 2 little spoons, because it's all about presentation, kids. You want to be that person who cooks and everybody's like, ooh, ah. I'm just going to form some of the little fruit, ever so slightly, just place them on the side of the plate. Oops, I dropped it. Why not? Let's put a little bit into the sauce itself. You don't have to take all of the fun and the flavor away. Again, pouring sauces, always pour from a jug. Probably should have put it in the jug to begin with. Then we have a beautiful red wine and blackcurrant reduction, and we're just going to top off with our parsnip chips on the top here. If they want to stay still, oh no! And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our beautifully cooked eye fillet with our sweet potato puree, our Dutch carrots, blanched broccolini, and a blackcurrant and red wine jus. I'll be taking photos of this afterwards and posting it on the website. Again, remember, every weekend I post the recipe sheets from the episode's recipe. I'm going to be investing in a bit more camera equipment so that we can see some better angles as well, because I'd love to get some better angles. At the moment, I'm just recording off my phone, but I really want this project to take off, so I'm going to be investing some money into getting some good cameras to be able to get some better angles, and hopefully soon a bigger kitchen so that we can have lots of different bench space, lots of different appliances and stuff like that, which I'm really excited about these times. I'm really enjoying this project. I can't wait to show you more recipes. But we know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready to absolutely devour this meal. It looks delicious. Remember, you can make sophisticated food in your own home. And all you need is just some time, some patience, and some creativity. That's all it takes. So if you can excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hungry. Thanks for coming along. Like and subscribe to my channel and my Facebook page, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode of the Erfinder Chef.